Zimbabwe will hold its elections this coming Wednesday. Up for grabs are the offices of president, members of parliament and local government councillors. There are a dozen candidates vying for the top job, but the main contest is between the incumbent, President Emmerson Mnangagwa of the ZANU-PF party, and Nelson Chamisa of the opposition Citizens Coalition for Change. The run-up to the vote has been heated and at times even bloody. We'll get some analysis in a moment, but first, here's DW correspondent Privilege Mshanyiri with more on the leading presidential candidates.
The die is cast for the Wednesday polls. The air is thick with promises for a better future from the main two presidential candidates. Incumbent President Mnangagwa presents himself as pro-business and says his government has created stability and economic opportunities.
ZANU-PF is about politics for national development. ZANU-PF is for production. ZANU-PF is for peace. ZANU-PF is for unity.
Chamisa has in turn pledged to grow the economy, reduce corruption, and build an inclusive Zimbabwe.
Jobs, opportunities, freedom for everyone.
The election has been described as a divide between the old and the young generations. For the electorate, it is a choice between maintaining the status quo or embracing the change in the opposition, which they are not sure yet. Many would want to see a government that would turn around the economy, create jobs, good health, and inclusivity. Emmerson Mnangagwa is 80 years old. He came to power after a 2017 military coup which toppled longtime ruler Robert Mugabe. Many say Mnangagwa didn't change much though, and he is accused of oppressing opponents. On the international stage, he is known for his close relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin. He recently attended Putin's Africa Summit and accepted gifts including a new presidential helicopter. Nelson Chamisa is just 45. He is a lawyer and a pastor, but has been politically active since his youth. He is credited with reviving Zimbabwe's opposition after major splits in the past few years. Internationally, Chamisa is considered more Western-leaning than Mnangagwa. Analysts say the election is tilted in favor of the incumbent due to support from state organs like security and the judiciary, and many expect another disputed result.
The contest now between President Mnangagwa and Nelson Chamisa is likely going to be disputed. Though the dispute as it comes, the onus again will be on the opposition to prove that they did not lose the election.
If the opposition win but fail to prove it, that will mean more of the same for Zimbabwe's people. And many of them are struggling to survive in a battered economy.
We're now joined on the program by Dr. Mbongeni Msimanga from the University of Johannesburg. Thank you for joining us on the program. Now, there have been concerns in the past over the electoral process in Zimbabwe. What are the chances we'll see credible elections this time?
First of all, we have the CCC, which is the Citizens Coalition, which is the opposition party, not having access to the registration of the voters' roll first, which makes the whole process flawed. Secondly, we've got so much, intimidation, especially of opposition political leaders that are, across the country, right? And even intimidation of the political opposition political supporters. I mean, we witnessed this happening, sometime last week when Nelson Chamisa was addressing, a rally in Masvingo, we had police coming through, trying to chase away supporters away from the rally, and even tear gas was actually thrown. So, we have all these aspects coming up, and it's so unfair, especially for the opposition political party itself.
So what I'm getting from you is that we don't even need to look at what happens on Wednesday to already see that the process is already skewed.
the state security itself playing a major role in terms of intimidating party supporters, even in the rural areas where there is the majority of the vote itself. Right. So, this has always been part of the ZANU-PF DNA in terms of violence and in terms of intimidating, opposition political parties.
With that in mind, there has also been speculation that the incumbent Emmerson Mnangagwa has lost some support since the last election. Are we saying that that would not be enough to present a major challenge to him in this vote?
Indeed, he has lost support. That's the first. And this is because of, rise of cost of living, inflation, right? Continued, incarceration of opposition political party leaders, and the basic intimidation of party supporters, opposition party supporters. So we are seeing the same tactics that made Mugabe quite an unpopular individual being used by Emmerson Mnangagwa in this particular election per se. It's a club, if I may say, of individuals who only want to occupy power without actually improving the livelihoods of the general populace of the Zimbabweans per se.
Okay. Dr. Mbongeni Msimanga from University of Johannesburg, thank you very much for speaking to us.